Today, I'm going to be sharing what my volume sessions look like and how I'm using these type of sessions to improve my climbing. The first thing I always do whenever I get to the gym is warm up off the wall. Usually it doesn't take me more than 15 minutes, and I put a lot of my time warming up into my shoulders, my wrists, and my fingers. Of course, I do more than warm up these areas, but I've noticed that's where I'm prone to injury. After that, I'll do the second half of my warm-up on the wall, which is usually on the spray wall or just really easy climbs. Here, I'm just getting a feel for moving on the wall and seeing how I feel. Today, I decided to try the new set on the easier climbs, starting with this purple V2. So now for the actual volume session. Most of the time, I'll be climbing around 2 to 4 grades under my limit, but I'm mostly looking to practice movement. For example, if I find a climb that feels technical or highlights a weak spot of mine, I'll repeat the boulder a couple times, practicing technique and perfecting my beta. Today, I wanted to get a good amount of dynamic movements in, and this white V6 was exactly what I was looking for. After sending it, I repeat the beginning move until it feels natural. I'm only doing the beginning move because I still want to save skin for later in the session, and the beginning move is really what I'm trying to practice here. I still do fall during this sort of practice, and sometimes it'll be because I'm testing new things, or simply just because I made a mistake. What I'm trying to do here is just get very comfortable with this sort of movement. For me, volume sessions aren't just about getting different types of movements in, it's also about refining my movements on easier climbs. You might ask, why not split volume and technique on different days? And you definitely could, but for me, I just find it convenient to have it on the same day. After all, when I'm practicing technique, I'm not really climbing hard, and volume days are perfect for me to incorporate technical practice in as well. Now, why am I doing volume climbing in the first place? Well, recently I've noticed that my climbing sessions are very unstructured, with no intention behind most days. As someone who wants to improve at climbing, I figured that structuring my sessions might help make climbing days a little more efficient. I've been wanting to make a training plan recently, and I've noticed many training plans within the sport of climbing, and even sports outside of climbing, have an emphasis on volume at the beginning. Specifically at the beginning of long-term training plans. I've been taking inspiration from Charlie, lattice training, as well as other sports to build my own training schedule, and the main priority right now for me is to increase my volume of climbing. I'm increasing my volume to better my technique, build my body for an increase in training intensity in the future, and get a deeper understanding of climbing movement. My volume sessions is a lot of repeating climbs, and while it can get boring sometimes, finding better beta is always satisfying. Here's an example of me repeating climbs during a volume session. This black V5 is rather straightforward, and the first time I climbed it, I really didn't put much thought into it. The beta wasn't that bad and it got the job done, but I decided to repeat it just to try different beta and see if I can improve the ending. On my second attempt, you can see how I move more confidently throughout the climb, and even though the end wasn't the prettiest, I found the beta a little easier for me. Here's another example of a V5 I repeated. This climb wasn't exactly hard, but I felt like my technique was lazy, and I could have been more intentional with my movements. At the end, I knew I wanted to do that again, but better. The second time I did it, I did the beginning move without cutting feet, and I tried to be more intentional with how I moved. But rewatching the footage, I noticed that I'm readjusting a lot, and my beta at the end was kinda poop, so I'll make sure to be more aware of that next time. I'll be honest, I don't love volume training sessions. It's pretty boring compared to max effort sessions, and it doesn't exactly make me feel strong. I've talked about ego before, and not allowing myself to climb hard really hurts the ego, more than I'd like to admit. But I'm gonna try to stick with volume training for a while and try to have fun while doing so. My volume sessions aren't perfect by any means, and even though I'm climbing below my limit, I'm still falling a lot while practicing beta. So if you're also doing volume days, don't worry if you're taking more falls than you thought you would. Initially, I thought falling on volume days was really embarrassing and that shouldn't happen, but the more I practice volume, the more I realize that falling is completely normal. Another thing is doing these volume days made me realize how bad my endurance is, so it's kinda nice to be working on my endurance as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's climbing and discussion. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.